Good day, Professor. My name is Siobhan Kojo, and today I'm going to be speaking on the impact that sociology has had on my life over these past few months. Firstly, sociology. The impact that sociology has on my life. Sociology, firstly, is the study of human society, social behavior, and the way people interact with groups, institutions, and cultures. It examines how society shapes individuals and how individuals, in turn, influence society. The sociological perspective means looking at human behavior by understanding the large social context surrounding it. It helps us to see that people's experiences are often connected by broader social patterns. Example, family expectations, social culture norms, social class, and gender rules. Instead of viewing choices as purely personal, the sociological perspective shows how social forces such as education, media, peer groups, and economic conditions influence our thoughts, opportunities, and behaviors. It encourages us, and me, to question taken for granted assumptions and to understand how society affects our identity, beliefs, and life choices. Sociological perspective has influenced me by me coming to college. My environment doesn't have much of an impact on me, but I'd say being a college student all makes me react in a way to be studious, make sure my assignments are done on time, and be respectful to my peers and teachers. Some factors that I would say influence me would be factors of socializations, which are family, school, peer groups, religion/culture, and my workplace. Family influenced me by being my first agent of socialization. Socialization into what is wrong, what is right, what I should be doing as a female, and the way that I grew up generally. Although my family did try their best to raise me the best way that they can, there were some things that I did pick up and that I didn't, based off just personal judgment on the whole, and that I was not influenced by. So analyzing certain individuals in my family and seeing what's wrong and what's right. Not everything that I saw I picked up, not like a sponge. But moreover, I was greatly socialized by my parents, and the way they grew up is the way I grew up, which is kind of surprising, but to say the least, it was great, and I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly. I like the way that my parents grew me up, and just overall, they're nice people. So I wouldn't say, they made a mistake in growing me up or anything. And parenting didn't have a handbook, so the way they choose to grow me up was great. School influenced me, secondly, by me meeting peers, learning skills that I didn't know, meaning academically. Academically, I grew up in a very smart family, I would say. Everyone got degrees and stuff, so that also drives me to, get my degree also and focus on academics as a whole. And moreover, me learning new stuff and skills and learning what I want, because not everyone wants to be a lawyer, not everyone wants to be a doctor, you know. Being me as well, I was drawn to being a lawyer, and I was supported by all my teachers at school and my family as well. Moving on to peer groups. Peer groups, I would say, didn't really influence me much, but it was there. It was an agent of socialization. And meeting new friends, I would say every year I change friend groups because I grow out of people a lot. So I wouldn't say that it influenced me, but it did. It did interact me with new people, learning new people, learning new personalities, learning new things that people do, learning new cultures and stuff like that. And that ties into religion. My religion being a Christian background, I grew up in a Christian household, with my grandparents being pastors and owning a church. And in the starting, I would say it wasn't, joy, but I later soon grew to, feel comfort in having a relationship with God and learning more about Him every day and the stuff that he did for me, I'm truly, truly grateful for it. So that here ties into me as a person and how humble I am, the humility I have, and how forgiving I am towards friends as well. Lastly, the workplace. The workplace has influenced me to become a very professional and public serving person, and just teaching me overall customer service, the way to be mature and work with grown ups, as I was always young in either of my workplace that I worked at. Status in sociology refers to the social position a person holds within a group or society. It tells others who are in a social context, example, student, friend, worker, leader, or siblings. As stated, the different types of statuses are ascribed and achieved. Ascribed statuses is a status you are born with or assigned without choice. Example, age, gender, ethnicity, being a child or a sibling. Achieved status is a status you earn through your actions, efforts, or choices. For example, becoming a student athlete, employee, musician, or a team captain. My achieved statuses were through education, skills and talent, work and responsibility, social involvement, recognition, and many more. Education by completing school or training can have and help you attain status like graduate, engineer, or nurse. Me being a high school graduate, I attained the status of being a graduate and coming to college to get my degree. Skills and talents. Practicing and developing abilities can earn statuses such as artist, athletes, or musician. Me being a soccer player, I've attained the status of being a soccer athlete or a student athlete. Work and responsibilities. Getting a job or taking on a role can give you statuses like employee, manager, or volunteer. Most times my status was volunteer because I did a lot of volunteer work, and also employee when I was hired. Social involvement. Participating in clubs, teams, or organizations can earn statuses like team member or team leader. Me being in a debate team back at my old school, I gained the status of being a team leader and a team member at once. Recognition. Achieving awards or being elected can give you statuses like captain, president, or honor student. In my last school and on my last soccer team, I attained the status of being the captain of the team on my soccer team. Cheers to me. And an honor student in my class at my last school for being top of the class and achieving good grades. On the other hand, my ascribed statuses, meaning the ones that I didn't earn on my own, were me being born into the family that I was birthed into. Me being a female, me being the age that I am, and me being the ethnicity I am, which is African American. To close, I will be speaking about social mobility also. Social mobility is the movement of individuals or groups up and down the social hierarchy within a society. Some key points to remember about social mobility is that it refers to the changes in a person's social class, status, and economic position. Mobility can be upwards by gaining a higher position or downwards, which is moving to a lower position. It can occur across a lifetime, intergenerational mobility, or between generations, which is generational mobility. Education, job opportunities, income, and social networks all influence a person's chances for mobility. High social mobility means people have greater opportunities to change their social class. Low mobility means a person's social status is more likely to stay the same as their families. My position in the stratification system would be, I would say, middle class to upper class, as I grew up in a well-off family that didn't have to worry about basic necessities or even money on the whole. My both parents had stable jobs and steady incomes, also my extended family. So even though we fought at some point, they were always there to rely on. It's evident in the areas I live in. I live in a concrete jungle, as Alicia Keys said. I live in a concrete jungle, meaning there's a lot of buildings around me, and where I live is more modern than old times. I wouldn't say that it affected me much, but it did in the ways that I interact with others. Now I'm much more humble and understanding of those that are lesser off than I am. And I don't judge, or I don't even talk down on people that have less than me. And I more so try helping those that I feel close to my heart, and when they need me, I help them. So yeah. And to close, I would say sociology has a large impact on my life, as every day I realize certain things that are attached to certain theories, certain things that have been spoken about years ago, even though that I am now just living and I'm only 19 years of age. I find sociology a very exciting subject to speak about. Honestly, it is, to see the connections between stuff and to generally just see things at a different level or through different views.